So how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Doing real good. Just taking life as it comes and doing the music thing and just working as hard as I possibly can. But that's basically how it's been going. I'm doing good, man. How about you?
Oh, I can't complain. I never do. No one listens. What was it, about a year and a half ago we did an interview, an email interview. I've been digging your tunes. I've been listening to them, and they're really interesting because you're a young kid, but you've got this classic rock vibe going on. Where'd that come from?
Man, that vibe came from my dad a lot. My dad always had the 80s, 70s, 80s, even some 90s rock and roll playing in the car all the time, and it was just kind of secondhand. Became a fan of that sound, the big guitars and the high voice and just that type of charisma in the music. And it wasn't until I was playing Guitar Hero with one of my best buddies when I was about 11 or so. I might have been younger. I might have been like 9. And I found myself super interested in not only the music, but the figurine, the guitar player that was in the screen, and the fans, and just the whole scene that it was playing and putting on. I became really interested in that, and I went home that same night and put in what was the first thing that I saw had a guitar on it. It was Song Remains the Same by Led Zeppelin. It was a concert video. And so as soon as I put that on and saw Jimmy Page dancing around and playing, I was just in it. That's all I wanted to do. So from then on, it became my life to be a guitar player, and that's what I wanted to do. There was no changing it. And then, eventually I wanted to start writing my own music. I got into ZZ Top and wanted to sing like Billy Gibbons, sing and play guitar. So I did that, and through a crazy turn of events, I ended up here with my own band, writing my own tunes and doing it. But yeah, that's basically where I came from.
It's pretty amazing, eh? The power of music. Just one thing turned you into a guitar player. It's amazing.
It is, definitely.
Jimmy Page is not a bad way to start either.
No way. He's definitely one of the pioneers of rock and roll, man. And he still is. I still listen to him to this day, and I can't fathom where that stuff is coming from. It's amazing.
So you started when you were about 9 or 10?
Yes.
And did your dad just have a bunch of guitars lying around the house and you just picked one up?
Yeah, that's exactly how it happened, actually. My dad was a guitar player when he was in high school. He played in bands all his life, so he still had guitars laying around, and I just found whatever one would fit in my hands, really, and I just started strumming it. And then for Christmas one year, my parents got me a little mini Les Paul Jr., and that's what I started really, really trying to play on. And, as my hands got bigger, as I got more into it, I started using regular sized guitars, and it just went up from there. But yeah, I've always been into the Les Paul. That's my guitar.
So what are your views on Gibson filing for bankruptcy?
Honestly, people have been asking me that a lot lately, and I can't really speak too much into it because I'm not really following it too much. But I think it's sad. It brings a sad feeling to my heart that this is happening to such a great company and such a great line of guitars. But I think that somehow everything will work out. Everything happens for a reason. But as for me, there's a whole bunch of Gibson Les Pauls out there, and you know what? The older ones are the best ones anyways. So I'm good.
Yeah. As long as you're all set up, who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
Now, I was checking on your bio, and it's really interesting because you say that your influences are Jimmy Page slash, and then you get into more pop, you know, Bruno Mars and Michael Jackson, things like that. How do you try to fit all these influences into your writing style or playing style?
Basically, lately I've been trying to implement kind of the lyrical and vocal stuff from the pop genre of my influences. I'm basically, the way I think of it is I try to take the guitar from my rock side, the guitar and the drums and everything, the bigness of the rock era, and then I'm just trying to incorporate what I like from the pop, which is the beats, the vocals, the harmonies, the dance moves, all of that sort of glamorous stuff, and kind of mesh them into one and see what I come up with. As far as, you know, being a fan of Bruno Mars and Michael Jackson and Justin Timberlake and all those guys, what I like most about them is the way they command the stage and the way they put together these big extravagant shows, and it just makes it so your mind is just blown. And you know, a lot of times rock bands, it's kind of like a let's just go out and jam type of thing, which is totally awesome. I dig that too. But for me, as a fan of music and a fan of going to concerts, I love going to see things that, you know, people haven't tried to do before, and see things that blow my mind, and watch shows that are more than just guys standing on the stage rocking out. You know, it's a big show, and I love that, and I love the look and the whole dance moves and the choreography and everything like that. I just fell in love with it, and so I'm trying to kind of mesh the two together in any way possible.
You might want to try doing what a lot of these guys are doing now and getting one of those gigs where they play for the pop stars. You know, like Nuno plays for Rihanna, and
Yeah.
you know, there's a bunch of guys that actually have secondary gigs where they play the pop stuff.
Yeah, definitely. I've definitely thought about that, and if the opportunity comes, I'm sure that that would be an awesome thing to go for. But as of now, I'm really set on playing, you know, writing my own music and trying to do my own thing with it. But, you know, I'm a musician, so any gig that I can get, any type of shows that I can play, I'm all in for that. So that would definitely be a cool avenue to take up.
Yeah, for sure. Now you've also been doing some shows with some pretty big names recently. Boba Flex, Dawkin, Steel Panther. Who am I missing?
Winger. We open up for Winger. Yeah. But
right.
yeah, man.
How's
and
that
they keep Winger, and let's see. We're trying to get a whole bunch of other opportunities that are kind of more or less falling into our laps. It seems, but definitely the biggest ones that we've played so far, the ones you just named. We went on tour with Boba Flex. We did about a month and a half with them on the East Coast, and then we opened up for Steel Panther at the Fillmore here in Colorado. And same with Winger, we opened up here in Colorado at a place called Herman's. Dawkin we opened up for in Scottsdale, Arizona. And it's just we keep trying to get our list up. But yeah, man, it's been fun, really fun.
I can imagine. Is it tough as a guitar player playing before someone who, I mean, I know Steel Panther, you know, they're kind of a comedy band in a way, but those guys are brilliant musicians. Is it stressful for you before you go out, or do you even think about that?
To be honest, I don't really think about that. To me, it's not really a competition type of thing. But like you said, they're brilliant, amazing musicians, and you know that's kind of how I take it. I take it as awesome. I get to play on the same bill as this amazing guitar player, or this awesome singer, or this great band. I think of it more as a cool thing rather than something that I let stress me out. And plus, you know, if I were to get too caught up on, oh, well, I'm going before so-and-so and I got to try and be better than them, then I feel like I would lose track of my own thing. So I definitely try and keep my mind set on our show and what I'm doing that night to make the crowd happy. So that's basically how I go about that.
Did you learn anything from those guys? Watching their shows or talking to them before the shows?
Oh, tons, man. I've learned tons with doing that, and with being able to record with a guy like Michael Wagner and Brent Fitz and Lizzie Hale and all those big names. Just anytime you get to work with people like that, it's just impossible not to learn at least one thing every minute. But it's just learning how to carry yourself as a musician that's more or less doing well, and learning how to just live that lifestyle and work with it. But I basically try to keep my mind open and look for any lessons that I possibly can. But yeah, definitely gonna learn a lot from all of that.
It is a tough lifestyle, isn't it?
It definitely is. Yeah, it's definitely not for everybody, but some people are just built for it, and some people are not. But it's definitely what you make it. You can definitely make anything work with it, I feel like, if you put your mind to it.
I guess you're lucky also that you got your mom and your dad involved.
That is definitely a lucky thing. I wouldn't be where I am without them. No way. My dad plays bass in my band, and my mom is the manager of the whole thing. So without our little trio, I don't think that this would have been possible. But they're behind me 100%, and I couldn't ask for more. It's really awesome, and we've put together this cool little team, and it's just making the whole thing kind of escalate. And I'm really, really thankful for it and super happy. Hope it keeps going.
So the new music you're writing, when are we going to be able to hear it? When are you going to record?
So
when do we get the full album?
So we've got our next album already recorded. We have the song "What's Your Problem" out as a single, and it's been out for a while. It's been doing really well, actually. I'm super exciting. And we recorded that record with Michael Wagner in Nashville at his studio, and so it's a 6-song record, and we're releasing it in singles. So the next single will be out by the end of this month, and we're already working on getting the cover and getting everything set up for it to come out. The press release just came out. This next song that's coming out, I wrote with Lizzie Hale from Hailstorm, if you're familiar with them.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's going to be an exciting one. So stay tuned for it. By the end of this month, it'll be out.
Awesome. So take us through how writing with, well, you wrote with Rachel Bolin from Skid Row, Lizzie Hale. How do you get together with these people, or do you get together, or is it more of an email kind of writing session?
No, definitely. We both got together in a studio, and just it was the most organic thing possible. We just had the guitars, had the instruments, had the things recording and everything, and we just wrote down what felt right. And we all put our creative minds together and got what came out. And us all being kind of rock and roll from the rock and roll side of things, it all came out just kind of in your face type of thing. And it was really awesome to be able to put my creative brain in with theirs and see how it worked the same and how it worked differently, and learned their techniques on how to write music, and kind of maybe even showed them my way of writing music, and see how it all came together. It was one big brainstorm of ideas. It all came from him and we did. He put together all the connections, and that's basically how it all happened. Once you meet Michael Wagner, you meet everyone else. I say, because he is so connected. It's insane.
Those are some pretty big names. I mean, just a few weeks ago, I was talking to Damon Johnson, who plays guitar for Black Star Riders.
Oh, cool.
And he used to play with Alice Cooper. And he said, you know, it was pretty cool. But then that one day he got into the room and just sat with his guitar with Alice Cooper and wrote music. It was just mind-boggling to be sitting in a room with someone who's that good at songwriting, you know? So it must have been the same. I mean, Rachel Bolan's got hit after hit after hit from the 80s and 90s. You know, that was huge, Skid Row.
Yeah, definitely. And it was definitely one of those things too where I had to kind of pinch myself sometimes and realize, like, this is real life. This is crazy. But at the end of the day, we're all people and we're all just musicians. So I tried not to let the fangirl side of me come out too much, and just kind of, you know, keep my nose down and work just like they do, and just see what the best song you could come out with was. And it turned out really, really well. It looks like people are digging the sound. It's awesome.
Fantastic. That's so cool. You're a lucky guy.
Yeah, man. It's definitely been a lucky year or so for me. It's really awesome. I'm super thankful. I owe it all to, I thank God every day, and I thank my parents every day, and my family, and everyone who supported me. I definitely couldn't do this alone. That's for sure.
How is the music business these days?
Man, it's the same as it always has been. I think it's hard. And it's wacky and it's weird, and it's not like anything else on the planet, but it works in its own way. But really, the music industry, I think, if you can sum it up, it's about who you know, not what you know. So I mean, of course you have to have talent with the music and everything, but if you don't have the right connections and you're not in the right place at the right time and have that little tiny bit of luck with the people that you're meeting, then it's really hard to get anywhere. But that's basically how I can sum it up as, with the small amount of years that I've been in it.
Because you did mention that you're releasing your CD as singles first. Is that a business decision?
It is a business decision. I could tell you, we discussed it with my whole team and everything like that, and it was one of those things where, well, let's try it once, and then we'll just see if, you know, how it works out. And we tried it once, and it worked out really, really well. So we're just going to keep going until something changes. It's basically kind of like a roll with the punches type of thing. So if we're doing something that works, we're going to keep doing it. And if it stops working, then we'll try something else. But that's basically how I kind of came.
Is there a concern, though, that if you release as singles, when the album comes out, everyone will already have everything on the album?
I can't say that that's really a concern, because, you know, if they already have all the songs, then they have the album too. So they're, you know, as long as they have the music and they're listening to it, and it's in people's lives, and it's maybe it's affecting them in some sort of way, and it's in their minds and in their ears, that's all that I can really ask for. But that's basically how I'm looking at it right now.
You're living the dream, man. You're making music for a living.
Thanks, man. It's definitely a bit surreal, but it's really awesome. I can't complain at all.
How do you prepare for a gig?
How do I prepare for a gig? Well, basically, when I'm, like, let's say just hanging out in the green room, about to go on in 10 or 20 minutes or so, I get all my gear on, what I'm wearing on stage. I put the whole outfit in the get up, and I start kind of pacing around, getting my mind right, and warming up the vocals and everything like that. And then when it hits, like, say 10 minutes to go on stage, I put the guitar on and I just start jamming and playing whatever I need to play to get my fingers loose and stuff like that, and just putting myself in that mindset to go out on stage and play the best show I possibly can. And also I kind of get this calm before the storm type of thing where I don't really want to kind of say anything or do anything. I just kind of want to be in my own little world and psych myself out from the inside out. Some sort of weird thing. I can't really explain it. But I just am to myself backstage waiting. And then when it's time to go on, I'm there on the side of the stage. And when I hear the crowd come out, or when I hear the crowd roar and everything like that, it just fuels everything. The crowd is the fuel behind the whole show for me. So that's when it's go time, and it kind of turned. I like to say, like, I kind of turn into not a different person or anything like that, but it's the mind kind of changes a little bit, and it's hard to explain. But I just get ready.
You totally turn into a different person.
I guess you could say that.
I think everybody who gets on stage doing that kind of thing, they transform into a different personality as soon as they hit the stage.
Definitely. I guess I could agree with that. I guess what I'm trying to say is it's not so much like an Alice Cooper or Kiss type of thing. It's like, but I definitely get like a different type of. It's just hard to explain, man. It's one of those things.
No, I hear you.
But
I hear you.
Yeah, it's just a different type of mindset, different type of feeling. It's like nothing else.
You mentioned earlier you get your gear on, you get all set for the show. How important is image?
Image is, man, it is so important. I can't even fathom. It definitely is the whole. It's what people are looking at. People go to a show to look, not just to listen. So they want to look at something cool, or maybe even something weird, or something that's not normal. And as for my image, I'm very into fashion and all that cool stuff. And so for every stage outfit that I put together, I try to do something really cool. And I came up with this bandana around the neck thing, and that kind of stuck. It really stuck. And so the bandana around the neck, and I wear long t-shirts and skinny jeans, and that's how I get out there. And I also started wearing these checkered Vans that people have commented on. They're old school checkered Vans shoes that look like they're straight out of the 80s. So it's just that's my image. My image is, and that's basically how I dress a lot of the time too. So the image is very important because it's who you are. It becomes your brand, if you will.
Who has or had the greatest image in rock and roll?
Oh, Slash, man. All the way.
Oh, yeah?
Dude, Slash, you do not look at him, or you do not look at even a silhouette of him and not know who exactly you're looking at,
That's true.
With the top hat and the long hair, it's just like, it's so seamless, but it's so brilliant and just awesome, and it's not overdone. It's not wild. It's him, but the image is just amazing. It's like you can put a top hat anywhere and people will know, oh, that's Slash, To me, I think he's got it. He nailed it right on the head.
Yeah, see, I don't even know if Slash is an image. I just think that's who he is all the time.
Yeah, definitely. But like I said, your image becomes you. And that's, if you can be you all the time and be on stage and be in real life and everything, you nailed it. It's the greatest thing.
Yeah, he's pretty badass.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Tell us what's happening in the next little while in the world of Jacob Cade.
Well, in the next little while, we're getting ready to release this single. I've got a show here in Colorado on June 2nd. We're playing at the Walnut Room, and we're looking to get on some festivals here in the summer, and just booking everything up and trying to get a busy summer going, playing more shows. And we have let's see, we're doing something the 4th of July, and it's just all stacking up from as far as shows are going. We're looking for some tours, and just kind of, we have a lot of things going on, and we got to decide what we got to do or what we want to do that makes the most sense. So basically right now it's the planning stages for our awesome summer of rock and roll.
Every summer should be an awesome summer of rock and roll.
That's true. And that's in the world of, as you said, in the world of Jacob Cade, that's basically how it always goes, man.
The way it should be.
Oh yeah.
Well, listen, dude, thank you for this. It's nice to see, doing these interviews. I'm always interviewing guys who are much older. I don't get to interview very many guys who are young and up and coming. And it's really a refreshing thing to see and hear that, the younger generation is not just stuck on their cell phones and on their computers. They're actually getting out there and doing stuff. And I'm really impressed. And I just wish you nothing but the best of luck.
Thank you so much, man. That really means a lot. I'm so happy that you feel that way, man. I'm looking to impress you a little bit more. We're going for it.
Well, I'm sure you will. End of the month, new single, and then another month later we'll have another single.
Yes.
That's how it works.
That's how it's looking for now. Oh yeah.
Perfect. Good luck with that, and good luck with the shows in the summer.
Thank you so much, man. Have an awesome rest of your day.
Will do. You too. All right, take it easy, man.
You too. See ya.